Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Liberland Longevity Conference. And greetings, everyone. We are all interested in longevity and the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friends, the topics we talk about today, such as these, will affect you in the future. You are interested in longevity, life extension, anti-aging methods, and many other things. We have a great palette of experts who are going to share their knowledge with you today. And for the first time, we're bringing you these, actually, for the second time, we're bringing you these topics because we had a very successful longevity conference last year at about this time. Ladies and gentlemen, the following online and in-person event is truly one of the most interesting and provocative of its kind. And we've got material here that will be both novel and fascinating to the audience members. Now, first of all, I'm honored to introduce Maya Volk. Maya is an amazing person. She's a guru of healthy living. She's been a professor at least 3 universities, a mother of 3. You've been involved in television, radio, stage, performance, music. You're a fantastic yet very simple woman at the same time. You're a raw food activist, as I understand. And we're truly honored to have you with us here today, Maya. So I'll give the stage to you, and you'll talk for a bit, and then we'll continue with the rest of our speakers. Okay. So please, everybody, please welcome Maya Volk.
Thank you. Please don't stop. Just go. Okay. Well, this is a very usual way how people introduce me with all this impressive biography that I had. But I must tell you, I divide my life. Actually, it's not my decision to divide it, but it happened like that in 2 parts, in 2 lives, actually. One was this successful, great, amazing life of a writer, musician, performer, mother, daughter, blah, blah, blah. And that ended with cancer. So it wasn't a good life. And after that, started a new, longer, better, and nicer life, which I'm living it now. And that's why I'm here. So as a professor of film, I'm going to start this like first part and the second part of the movie. So the first part of the movie is this old life that we all know and that we were all thriving to achieve a lot of stuff. I was taught and raised to be the best in everything. I was raised in the family of 2 very successful people. My mother was a famous theatrical actress. My father, film and theater critic, he wrote 69 books. She wrote 12. So just in order to survive in that family, I had to write 20 books. So 3 of us, we wrote 100 titles. People don't read that during their lifetime, what just 3 of us wrote. And I graduated 2 universities when I was 21. I had my first PhD by the age of 29, the other at 32. I had 3 children, and I was living in the men's world, being the only one of 5 women scriptwriters in Serbia, or even in ex-Yugoslavia, and being a writer, and that I inherited lots of enemies from my parents, and bearing the only one with this name in the country. I'm the only Maya Volk on Balkans, So it was I couldn't escape from myself and from all the tough stuff that I had to go through. But I was a fighter, although I'm an Aquarius and I'm just passing through this solar system, but I was trained to be a fighter. I'm really not a fighter, but that was my training. So at the age of 42, life started to be very rough. First, my husband left me because I was a bad cook, and because he couldn't cope with my character anymore, this unpredictable Aquarius with crazy ideas. So he left me, and I was a single mother of 3 in that moment, and I had to work day and night. Then my mother died, which was the biggest blow, because she wasn't a very kind mother. So these mixed feelings of hatred and love that I had that were not resolved during her lifetime tortured me. I was just craving to see her again and to tell her what I regret. Then my father remarried after 6 months to a very evil woman. So it was like in a fairy tale. She was a combination of Cinderella and Snow White. And the final blow was when my ex-husband took my son away. So while I was teaching at the university in another town, he just came and took him. And I couldn't do anything because, of course, this boy needed a father, needed a male figure because he was surrounded by women. You know, he had 2 elder sisters and me and 3 neighboring girls. So he needed a man. So I knew that was good for him. But on the other hand, it was like someone cut my hand. So it was so devastating that my life became very miserable that I wanted to die. And I thought death would be escape. And I had these suicidal ideas in my head, and I had thoughts like, I cannot do this anymore. I just cannot, you know. And of course, my body and my soul fulfilled my inner wish. So they gave me cancer. And I don't think that it's good to say these words like, I'm fighting the cancer. What are you fighting? You're fighting yourself. Those are my cells. That was the consequence of my life, of my choices. And it was the worst of all, that was the throat cancer. And, you know, voice is my life. I'm a professor, I'm a singer, you know, without a voice, I'm nothing. So it's you know, nature or God knows where to strike. So it was a throat cancer, and they told me on Wednesday that I'm going to die in a month, that I have to be operated immediately on Monday. So I only had 3 days to see what's happening to me, and 3 days is nothing. So and they didn't tell me the consequences of all that. Usually they take out the vocal cords, but I was so fierce in fighting for my vocal cords that I wrote down that I would rather die than be without the voice. And so I forbid them to touch my vocal cords. And the surgeon said, well, it's not everything in the voice, you know. And I said, well, it's not everything in the hands, you know. Cut your right hand and be a surgeon. You know, voice is my life. Can you imagine a mother of 3 children that cannot talk? I mean, I will develop a brain tumor the following day. So I was lucky, and he was, so to say, concerned more than usual, and he saved my vocal cords. But after that, my voice sounded harsh and horrible. I was worse than Louis Armstrong. And so I couldn't sing, and I couldn't talk. I had to learn to swallow, to eat, to drink again, because they cut my throat. They took everything out. They took out my saliva glands, so I couldn't survive 3 minutes without water. They cut the muscle here that keeps the shoulder and my back, so my shoulder fell down, my arm was unusable, I couldn't play the guitar. The operation erased my memory. I couldn't remember my songs, I couldn't remember anything. So it was like a big, big dive downhill. And I remember people's faces. When I was passing by them, they were running away from me because I looked like death. And when the medicine finished with me, I was a skeleton. I looked like a grandmother to my own self. And I said, you know, something's wrong here. Something's very, very wrong here. At that time, I had a big orchestra, and I was playing Argentinian tango. And I had a concert on a very prestigious art music festival in Montenegro, in Kotor, scheduled for 26th of August, and this was happening in March and April. And of course, my whole orchestra fled away. So I wrote a message to the director of the festival that I'm not able to do this and that I want to cancel the concert. And then he said, no, I will not cancel it. And I said, but I don't know if I'm going to be alive, you know, in August, and I cannot sing, you know. I mean, and he said, no, I'm going to keep this until 26th of August at noon. And if you are not able to sing at noon, then I will cancel it. And he gave me hope when I didn't have hope. So from that moment on, I'm not thinking about cancer anymore. I'm thinking about a concert. So I'm swimming backwards to get my arm back. I'm again listening to my CDs, you know, writing down the letters and everything. I had to change the whole repertoire. You have to be very creative when you don't have a voice as you used to. So I started to be more emotional. When I couldn't sing, then I would recite. Then I picked up the songs which are less than 3 minutes, and so on and so on. And on 26th of August, I came to Qatar, and I had alone with my guitar, and I had 2 hours concert, and nobody noticed anything. And at the end of it, I said, this is 4 months after the throat cancer operation. After 2 chemotherapies, I ran away from the second, and after 40 radiations. And people went furious. And I got this attack of serotonin, dopamine, endorphin, all these hormones of happiness. And I climbed the Mount Everest. I was on the top of the world. And from that moment on, I can do anything. There's nothing in this world that I cannot do. And so that was the end of one life and the beginning of much longer, better, and nicer life. So I'm only 18 years old in this second life, yeah. I just started, and I even feel that I didn't even start yet, So every 10 years I say the life begins at 50, the life begins at 60. I think that life begins at 100. So I cannot wait, to get to this normal, serious, nice age. 66, I mean, I'm just at the middle at this point. And I remember Danny Kaye, who used to say how to get to be 130 years old. First, you have to reach 129 and then be very careful. So before the second part will be about this nicer life. And now I will, so to say, make a little bridge for our next guest lecture with this song, because he comes from Spain. And this is one of the first songs that I ever learned to sing. And it's Spanish. It's from the film of Carlos Saura, Cría Cuervos. And I will sing it in 2 languages, in Spanish and my Serbian translation. Hoy en mi ventana brilla el sol, mi corazón se pone triste contemplando la ciudad. ¿Por qué te vas? Como cada noche desperté pensando en ti, y en mi reloj todas las horas vi pasar. ¿Por qué te vas? Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Junto a la estación lloraré igual que un niño. ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? Sunce sia mudrost prozora do gradi mi, a misli lete ulicama grada mog, kad dlanu tvoj. Kao svake noći budim se i mislim se, da li ti sanjaš dodirnenog tela mog, kad dlanu tvoj. Obećanja moje ljubavi lete ka tebi, ti prolaziš, ti dolaziš. Kao dete lutam s rukom sada same noći, jer prolaziš, jer odlaziš. Toda la promesa de mi amor se irán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Junto a la estación lloraré igual que un niño. ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? Okay.
¿Por qué te vas? Very good version of that song, Maya.
Que me voy para regresar.
Oh, lamentable. Okay. Thank you very much, Maya. What a great presentation. And to personally hear your story last night over dinner was really amazing. And I hope people will take to heart the words that you've shared. And you also have another presentation for us a little bit later.